Hello, folks. So I'm back already. I have some things I feel like talking about, and as you see, there's really no rhyme or reason with when I post. I just post when I feel like it. I don't post every day, dedicatedly, or any particular time. I just make a video when I feel like it. A lot of times, I feel like making videos when I have gigs, and last night I had a gig. It was pretty good. It was a pretty decent night. I want to talk about that and the artists that I played with. Some acknowledgments. Trish Mullins just sent me some vinyl community love on the vinyl community love train in the form of 2 mix CDs. DJ Trish, thank you so much. You're a sweetheart, and I appreciate a very interesting. I listened to this one. I haven't listened to the Rocktober yet, but I just want to thank you because you take time with sequencing these and thinking about what comes next. And you're a good DJ. Good job. Thank you, Trish. Thank you so much. I'll talk about my gig, but a couple other things. In the comments, someone wanted to know if I knew anything about Suede. Yeah, I know Suede. Now, because of, not because of, I'm an individual, okay? So when I heard about Suede, this is the only thing I have by Suede, Saturday night. It was not like I have got to have this. I heard and saw those elements this person mentioned. At the time Suede was happening, something else was really capturing my attention and put Suede like on second tier. There's my disc. I knew my disc was somewhere. I'm glad I pulled this, okay? Last time this is fortuitous actually. Let me go ahead and share this, okay? Last time I played Suede, I was also listening to some Sakamoto, and I was listening to Heartbeat, the Japanese version. When I went to put the CD box away, I couldn't find the disc, and I knew that I must have put the disc in another case. I could never figure out what it was. I just found it fortuitously by talking about the Suede. So, win-win for me. So, no, I don't have any Suede on vinyl. I know they're back together. And they remind me of David Bowie more than Scott Walker, although those other elements that this person talked about are there. I'd be happy to have some Suede on vinyl, but you get my drift. They never hit me hard. Okay, I was going to look at the date and see if I could tell you what was the band at the time Suede was going. This was mid-90s, and so for my taste at that time, it was the House of Love and Catherine Wheel and stuff like that. That for my taste was more captivating, but Suede are good. And I'm glad that I hope it sounds like Brett was able to kick his crack habit and get back on the horse. Okay, I also want to acknowledge another VC member. Online, I was showing some records the other day, and I showed this, and John Dawson piped up and said, I hope that you show that in your next video. So I didn't. My last video was the next video since that comment, but I remember this morning. So, John, what can I tell you about this? Musica Elettronica Viva, the Sound Pool. This is a collective of musicians. I have both of these on. I know they have more, but I have these two. Leave the City. They're nothing like each other. What I was saying online about this is that this is music concrete as much as it is. It's, quite a bit of what is being created here is not being done with electronics. It's being done with acoustic instruments and voices. And this album is uncomfortable to listen to at first. But the thing is, if this is how I approached it was, okay, they're not going to make this easy on me, are they? And I'm glad, because once you let it happen and you fall into what's happening, it envelops you. And Quite an experience is what I'll say about this. Quite the experience. On the other hand, this one sounds like it was recorded at an ashram, a hippie ashram. You look at the back cover, and that's why I say those things, because the back cover looks like what the album sounds like. People hanging around, chanting, playing percussion instruments. There's a lot of ambient sounds of activity. Maybe like people are eating food or preparing food or something. But at the same time, again, and also in relation to the time period this came out, which was the end of the 60s, 1970, it again is a captivating experience. June 1970 is when this was recorded. It's a captivating experience to allow yourself to go into. You know, I do like pop music. I like well-structured pop music. But I like experience. And I think I'm more experienced in what humans can show me through their art than making sure that I'm entertained by a pop song that I can understand easily. Sort of explaining my modus operandi. Okay, so last night my gig, I had a good gig with this cat. I opened up for Caleb Hawley. You guys know about this guy from New York? His bass player, his current bass player, who's not on the album but who's touring with him, is originally from Omaha. And that was the connection to how we got the gig. Agronomo, this other new band that I'm now in. If you let me play with you, you'll probably ask me to join you. That's not an ego statement. That's a statement of experience. Okay, I'm old and I'm not attractive, but if you let me play with you, I'll help you sound better. And this is I've been doing this for a long time. Anyway, Caleb is apparently has played in Omaha quite a few times acoustically at a friend's house shows, which he would always invite me to, and I would never go. Caleb has a great high-pitched voice, and he's a soul singer. On this album, he uses Prince's old drummer, Michael Bland, the big, huge black guy that was with Prince for a while. He's a guest drummer on one of the songs here. The album samples James Brown and Diana Ross, so that kind of tells you this is soul music, and he's got a great voice. And he's very charismatic. Also, he's a very good guitar player. I really enjoyed the show last night. Played this. I highly recommend this. This is the sort of thing that I think people will gravitate to much more quickly than the music I make. It just has all these hallmarks of things that we understand and recognize from the past. And he's good. He's a good songwriter. I mean, you can hear where he's, again, okay, I'll try Holland Dozier Holland now. Okay, now I'm going to try to do a Prince thing here. Okay, now I'm going to try to do a James Brown thing. It's good. Really enjoyed playing with him last night. The other opener, besides the band I'm in, Agronomo, was a local young lady named Tara Vaughan, who I'm going to talk up. Now, she is doing the singer-songwriter thing, plays the piano, sings songs primarily about relationships, what everyone is into. Can sing like a bird, really has a beautiful voice, and she really reaches for it. I was taken by Tara's performance last night. We talked and met, and are threatening to work together. Wonderful. There's probably contemporary artists that she can be compared to that I don't know, so I don't know who to compare her to. Just wonderful. Tara Vaughan. And she shared last night that she just got back from Nashville recording her first full-length album, so I'm happy for her and looking forward to it. We traded, so I also traded with Caleb. So he has Flyover. And that's Tim Guthrie here. Okay, some other stuff sitting out here, because just a few things. I'll talk a little bit longer. I will say I'm glad that I get the feedback. I got some feedback from Vinyl Richie where something I said was helpful. And that really is the idea, folks, the way that I go on and on about stuff. The idea is to try to share something helpful and useful, stuff that makes sense to me, stuff that helps make my life more livable. I try to pass it on. And pointedly so, I can't be everywhere, so I don't hear everything, but in general, I do not hear talk like the talk I'm talking, which is people attempting to share something useful, beneficial, and helpful to other humans. I don't hear a whole lot of that. Matter of fact, the main thing I hear is people saying, I have something that can help you, but you have to pay for it. And my thought is, I understand that you got to keep the wheel of life going, but surely other wise minds are seeing that it's time to move past that need. It really is time for us to share something of value because it will save us. It really, in my opinion, is time for more people to talk about, okay, I'm going to go kind of spiritual on you, all right? These are just my thoughts and opinions, so just take it with a grain of salt if you don't like it. Please, it's my mind, okay? But to me, the whole problem, one of the big things that I don't like about organized religions is how they have taken the message and externalized it. The whole idea of God being external. Now see, because I've studied, and I have studied for years, when I was younger, I was going to become a Jesuit. I was going to become a priest. And the more I learned, it was a real eye-opener, folks. As a result of learning what I learned, I decided the priesthood is definitely not what I'm doing. It's not a holy path. I mean, my path, I don't have to join that order to be on a holy path. But what I'm saying is I really do think that it's been a disservice to man to externalize God, that you have to reach towards this it and him, also calling it him. Because my experience, and I trace this all the way back to my childhood, my innate experience of spirituality and divinity is that it's us. That collectively, all of what exists is God. And that's a very valuable piece of information that has been abused. I think the folks that over millennia have abused it for their own gains have been concerned, well, if I give that power to all these people, what will they do? What will they do to me? Paranoia or something, I don't know. But that, I think, is part of the thinking. Because I understand personally, innately, more than I can say in words, that we are that thing that we're told to worship. Not that we're gods like Thor and Odin, but that the stuff, the literal stardust or whatever it is, the actual content of all existence, we're not separate from it. We're it. And if we could somehow cultivate that sense of being connected and what's good for the whole is good for the individual, it wouldn't be I don't think the world would be quite as tore up as it is, because we've all decided to take sides, trying to take what the other has, rather than someone or some people with good sense saying, well, if we somehow find a way to harmoniously do things in a way that others are not harmed, because when others are harmed, we're harmed, then we can move forward. So that's the kind of thinking that informs me to say the stuff that I do. And it's also why I continue to try and focus on this rather than slip back into just what most people do, which is to bitch, fight, argue, and lose perspective, become emotional, and squabble and fight over scraps on the table. We're divine. We're it. It's the little secret that we're not being told, or that many of us don't seem to fathom very well. The thing that we say is out there or unreachable is a lie. It's here. Christos is in the heart. Christos is the heart. It's like if you read what you've been told to read with different eyes, It's right there. It's right there. Okay, that's what I want to share today.